Japan to invest 10 trillion yen in India over the next decade. PM Modi says he will remember the trip for the productive outcomes. India's exports at record high in financial year 25. Goyal says growth will continue despite US tariffs. US court says Trump's tariffs were illegal. Gives time for appeal. Indian goods face 50% tariffs in US. Exports may drop sharply. Namaskar, welcome to HYBIZ. I'm Sashi Rai. You are watching Business Talk. On Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi concluded his two-day visit to Japan and departed for China to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. Reflecting on the visit, PM Modi said he would remember the trip for its productive outcomes, calling it fruitful for both countries. He also thanked his Japanese counterpart, Shigeru Ishiba, the Japanese government, and the people for their warmth. This visit to Japan will be remembered for the productive outcomes which will benefit the people of our nations. I think PM Ishiba, the Japanese people, and the government for their warmth, PM Modi said in a post on X, sharing a video of his engagements. On the concluding day, PM Modi and PM Ishiba took a bullet train to Sendai, nearly 300 km for Tokyo, where they visited the semiconductor factory Tokyo Electron Miyazi Limited. Modi received a warm welcome from the locals in Sendai. The semiconductor sector is a key area for India-Japan cooperation, he said. Earlier in Tokyo, PM Modi interacted with governors of 16 Japanese prefectures. In his address, he urged Japanese governors and Indian state governments to forge stronger collaborations in manufacturing, mobility, innovation, startups, and small businesses. There is immense scope for cooperation in areas like trade, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Futuristic sectors like startups, tech, and AI too can be beneficial, he posted. On Friday, the first day of his visit, Japan announced its target to invest 10 trillion yen in India over the next decade. Both sides also finalized a framework for defense ties and a 10 years roadmap to deepen economic partnership. Other agreements signed included an economic security architecture to promote supply chain resilience in strategic sectors such as semiconductors, clean energy, telecom, pharmaceuticals, critical minerals, and new and emerging technologies. Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal on Saturday said India's exports will exceed last year's record despite US tariffs. Speaking at an event in Delhi, he stressed the need to diversify India's export basket to reduce reliance on any single market. India's total exports in financial year 25 touched an all-time high of $824.9 billion, a 6.01% growth over financial year 24. For financial year 26, the government has set a target of $1 trillion in exports. Goyal said negotiations for a free trade agreement with the European Union are underway, while talks with Qatar, New Zealand, Peru, and Chile are expected to conclude soon. He added that GST reforms would boost domestic demand and assured that no sector has raised concerns over US tariffs so far. According to official data, exports in July 2025 stood at $68.25 billion, higher than $65.31 billion in the same month last year. A US appeals court has ruled that most of the tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump were illegal. The court said Trump did not have the authority under the law he used to impose them and made it clear that a president does not have unlimited power to put tariffs on imports. However, the court delayed the implementation of its decision until October, giving Trump time to appeal to the Supreme Court. Trump strongly criticized the ruling, posting on social media that the removing the tariffs would destroy America. Trump had imposed tariffs on countries such as China, Canada, Mexico, and India, arguing that America's trade deficit was a national emergency. He relied on the International Emergency Economic Power Act, claiming trade imbalances threatened US national security. The court rejected this argument in a 7 to 4 majority ruling, saying that when Congress passed IEEPA in 1977, it did not intend to give presidents unlimited tariff powers. The judges also noted that the word tariff does not even appear in the law, and tariff setting authority belongs to Congress. The court said a president could only impose a tariff temporarily up to 150 days and capped at 15% and only with solid justification. The case was filed by small businesses and a coalition of US states, arguing that Trump's tariffs had harmed them. Meanwhile, Trump's administration had also imposed a 50% tariff on Indian goods, which came into effect on August 27. According to the Global Trade Research Initiative, this move could affect about 5.4 lakh rupees crore worth of Indian exports. Products such as textiles, gems and jewelry, furniture and seafood from India will now become much more expensive in the US market, with demand expected to fall by up to 70%. Countries like China, Vietnam and Mexico, where tariffs are lower, are likely to take advantage and sell these goods more cheaply, reducing India's market share in the US. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Have a namaskar.